Now I convert this Spring JWT registration with the use of Lombok. So Lombok is a dependency, or you can say package, third-party package, where it reduces the extra boilerplate from your code. Like when you make a model or entity, and there you can define default constructor and with argument constructor, and make getter setter for that field. So if you don't want to make all the things, then you can simply add Lombok annotation. So here I make another project with existing one and see how to use Lombok. So first I copy this project, so right click and then copy, and simply I paste here. And while after pasting, it leave a pop-up there you want to define your project name. Then I gave this 04 and Lombok, because I use Lombok, and copy. And here I also want some changes in pom.xml. So I go in refactor and rename and copy the project name and open pom.xml, and in name write your new project name, and in description if you want to describe with the extra, then here I can simply define with Lombok. It's depend on you. If you want give description, then you can add here. And now I also want dependency of map Lombok. And before that, if you want to add Lombok in your project, but before that you need to add Lombok in your computer or in your system also. So here I already make a video with related to how to add Lombok in installation part. So if you go here, add Lombok on Mac. So this is the video where you can check how to add Lombok in your system. This is the way you give a path. First you download jar file, then you add the path. Okay, and now I add the dependency. Simply go to Maven repository, and this Maven repository open, and here search only Lombok. Then first project Lombok, you select anyone. Actually you don't provide the version and the scope, because by in Spring Boot version is added by default with the help of Spring parent, and here you can check this one. So by default, according to this version, Spring Boot add the version of any dependency which you add. So I already used a dependency, so first I copy the Lombok dependency from previous. Okay, from here copy the code, and I want to add if you want to add in anywhere, but I want add here. And if you compare with the Maven repository, then simply you can check here is the group ID, and this is the artifact, and for version I don't define because it add from the Spring parent according to Spring parent version. And at last optional give as true, and if I save, then it add it added in dependency. So now it's time to use Lombok feature in my project. So first I use an entity, like here I make a table, and here you can check that there is a uh, number of errors here. So to get rid of this error, simply you can do first go to project, then untick this build automatically, here is already unticked, and then clean. But first I select this one, this project, then go to clean, and this one is selected. Okay, now check, this is all the error is gone, and after clean simply tick this build automatically. If you do these steps, if you follow these steps, and then after your error is display here, then you can do another process, like right click on project and run, and here you can do maven clean, and here check, this is the percentage something, and after one process is after maven clean, you can simply do maven install. So if all the dependencies which are added in form.xml, and all and those dependencies have not installed in your project or not added in project, then after this dependency jar or all the dependencies is added in your project. And if you want to another process, then here is the next step is maven and update. If you want to update your project, then simply you can go to right click, then maven and update. So all the errors from your project is gone now. Okay, now it's time to add Lombok features. First I want to add annotation at the rate and data, and now you check that this data is come from Lombok. And the second one is, this one is builder. This Lombok feature is used when you to if you want to save some data or set the values from the getter and setter, but the builder method is give you built-in methods which reduce the boilerplate of setting and getting the values. I will show in further, but first I add this annotation, and for I want to remove this argument, this default and this parameter argument. So here I use not there, enter, then no AR constructor, and if when after importing this, you can check here, this is come from Lombok, and here you check this error is shown to me because of this one. If I remove this constructor, then this error is also gone. And next annotation I used is all are constructor, and here this constructor is also I removed. Okay, and this getter and setter method is optional for you. If you want to keep this one, then this getter and setter is not affected your project, but I already use data, then there is no need of getter and setter. So also I remove this all the except overrided method, because this override method is come from user details which I implement. So I remove all the getter and setter. So and now you can check that your entity is look more clear, or here are less code. Now I save, and another entity I want to choose is go to entity and token. This is also a table. So here I use all these annotation. So simply I go to user and copy, and then paste here. Now do next method, remove all the constructor, remove the constructor and setter also. Now it's your entity look more clear and less code. So only this help is Lombok is helpful to reduce your boilerplate or remove your extra code. If you want to put, then okay, otherwise you can get all the methods getter and setter with the help of this get annotation. This is the one feature of Lombok. Now I show you another, and for that first I want to go construct application and configuration, then application and configuration. Here if I want to remove this, then you can simply, there is a two way you can use. First one is you can simply add auto wired. This auto wired is not come from Lombok, it is a part of Spring framework.p. And if you don't want to use this auto wired is used for dependency injection, because Spring Boot is a loosely coupled dependency injection framework. So if you don't want to use this auto wired also, then you can do another way. You can inject object by another way also, and simply use Lombok annotation required arg constructor, and for that you can use here final keyword. And if you don't use this required arg, and if you're using this final keyword, then here this gives the error. For this error you can simply do make a constructor and then make this to avoid this extra code. Simply I make final, and here I use required R constructor. Now if you run your project and check the functionality, is that working fine or not, and simply you go to run your project, and after when the project is run, simply open your Postman. I just want to log in. If here you check 8080 API v1 auth login, go to controller authentication, API v1 auth register, and this one is login. So if I register, then yes, it's working fine. So this is the second use of Lombok. You can add this annotation and simply make your repository final. Now third use is, it's time to which one, configuration, then JWT authentication filter. Here I also want to use required R constructor, so it reduce this, remove the code and make your project more clear. Simply make final, this one also, this one also, and I think there is no need. Okay, now this all this code is simply working as it is from previous one. And now I go to which service, for service, and this is a third way. This is third annotation, which third way which I take a help from Lombok. And how Lombok is also help in saving this all the data. How? Okay, show you. Before that, you simply, here you can also call this way, but if you want to don't use getter and setter, so simply you can use Lombok feature. How? First make your variable same, user then called builder method. Here you get the builder, and this builder is coming from Lombok. Builder, and then first name, and how where you get the first name from request means from front end. Then first name and last name, request get last name, not this, last name, then email, request get email dot password. For password I simply just encode and request get password. This is the this all code is related which you write in getter and setter. And for role I simply call role entity, and user type I want, and last method is for save. For simply save you can use build from Lombok. Now all the code is working fine, and if you want to check then simply again you rerun your server from here, and this is the port 8080. And if I go to registration and I want to add 3 and 3, you can check I get the response JWT message and status. So this is the way if you want to use Lombok, simply Lombok reduce your boilerplate or remove reduce your code. Thank you.